Hi there, business owner, and welcome to the 3Bs podcast, the place where we go beyond the numbers and dive into strategies to help you build a better business one step at a time. I'm your host, Stephanie, a multi-award-winning entrepreneur with over a decade of experience in the bookkeeping and accountancy world. If you're a business owner looking to streamline, grow, and get back the time that you deserve, you're in the right place. We're tackling real-world problems, answering tough questions, and digging deep into business-building secrets in just 15 minutes each week. So are you ready to build a better business with confidence and clarity? Then let's go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 3Bs podcast, your go-to place for 15 minutes of CPD certified education, motivation, and inspiration to help you build a better business. Here we are, episode 149. We are one away from that big 150, and I want to thank you all for being a part of this journey. Whether this is your first episode or you've been with us since the beginning, it means the world to me that you pop me into your ears or watch me on your screens for 15 minutes every single Thursday. Now on to today. It's February. We made it. We survived January. Thank the Lord. January is always full of conversations about growth, new year, new start. Now, if you've listened to previous episodes, you will know that I said for bookkeepers and accountants, it's our busiest month of the year. And because of that, January is not where my new year starts. So February is almost my new year, because once we've got the January tax return stress out of the way, we can really start to focus on what we want the rest of 2026 to look like. Most of the industry and most of the business world are talking about growth, getting more clients, more sales, more everything. And if you're looking to build a better business, which I presume you are by watching or listening to this podcast, then you're probably thinking the same. But today I want to talk about the other side of that, because it's something I'm going through right now as a business owner, and I'm hoping that my experience is going to help you. And that's the clients you probably shouldn't be working with at all and probably never should have said yes to. Because one bad fit client can cost you far more than 3 good ones ever will. And I don't just mean financially. I see this constantly. I've experienced this in my own business over the years. Businesses that are busy, stressed, always reacting instead of being proactive, and quietly resenting different parts of their work. When we dig into that, the issue isn't the service, it's not even the pricing or the workload. It's usually the wrong clients. Bad fit clients show up in very predictable ways. And as I said, I've seen this time and time again. They drain your time, they can push boundaries, they question everything to the nth degree, they pay late or need chasing regularly, or they expect far more than they're paying for. And the worst part of all that is, they stop you showing up properly for your good clients because they're taking all of your time, draining your energy, and you're having to spend time chasing payments or whatever it may be. Most business owners don't take on these clients intentionally. It usually starts with, I'll just help this one, or it's only for now, or I can't really say no, I need the clients. But over time, those decisions start to stack up, and it very rarely is just that I'll help this one, and it quite quickly then grows into more. Because the clients you work with usually refer you to other clients, and the clients that they refer you to are usually very similar to the client you already have. So if you have a bad client, 9 times out of 10, they're going to refer bad clients to you too. And then your diary fills with work that takes more energy than it should. Your confidence drops because you're constantly justifying yourself and feeling like you're doing something wrong, or you've not explained something, or getting really frustrated. And suddenly your business feels heavier than it really needs to be. This is where pricing and boundaries collide. And my word for 2026 is boundaries. And that's professionally, personally, and everything in between. I want better, stronger boundaries that I actually stick to. And if you've got some of these bad clients showing up in your business, then you maybe need to look at your boundaries too. If a client constantly needs reassurance, extra explanations, or more support than agreed, that's not always a service issue. Sometimes it's just a mismatch in expectations. And I'm going to be really honest, it's a bit of an uncomfortable truth here. Raising prices doesn't always fix bad fit clients either. Sometimes it just gives them more entitlement, and they feel like they deserve even more because they're paying you more money. The fix for this starts much earlier. It starts with being clear on who you actually want to work with, how they communicate, how they value your expertise, and how they make decisions. If you think about all of your client base right now, Who are the ones that I like to call them dreamy clients, like the dreamiest client that you have? Who is the dreamiest client that you have, or 2 or 3 dreamiest clients you have? If you're a product-based business, who are the customers and the types of customers you really like working with? It may be those who buy your product and leave you a positive review. It might be those that buy your product, maybe have a negative experience, but rather than shouting it all over social media, they email you and quietly deal with it and allow you time to rectify the situation before damaging your business. Good fit clients don't just pay on time. They trust you. They respect your process. They don't need convincing every 5 minutes. And they're not constantly questioning you, your fees, the way you're doing things, what software you're using, or things like that. And when your client base is right, everything else suddenly gets easier. Your delivery improves, your margins improve, and your energy improves. And as we enter February, I think it's the perfect time for you to start to review this properly. As I said, everyone thinks January is the time for you to start doing this. But for many business owners, whether that's bookkeepers and accountants, it's their busiest time of year. Whether it's retailers that often experience a drop in sales in January, I think February is the perfect time to start reviewing things and really making firm decisions and sticking to them for what 2026 looks like. So how do we do that? Well, look back at last year and ask yourself these questions. Which clients took the most time? Whether for good or bad reasons, which clients genuinely took up most of your capacity? Which ones caused you the most stress? Which ones were the ones that gave you the biggest headache, that you lost sleep over, that you stressed about the most? And which ones would you happily work with again, or really happy to continue working with, or the ones that make you really happy when you see their name pop up in your email inbox, when you see a WhatsApp message from that particular client or customer? Which ones are the ones that light you up and you're excited to have meetings with? The answers from those are usually very clear when you're honest with yourself. And this isn't about judging your clients, and sometimes there's exceptional circumstances. Like I said, with paying, if they pay late regularly, then there's an issue. If they pay late once or twice because you know there's other things going on in their lives and in their businesses, that needs to be taken into consideration too when you're looking at your clients. I'm not telling you to judge your clients. I'm telling you to protect your business. And that change in mindset really does help as a business owner when you have gone through the first however long your business has been going of, I'll just take that one, I'll just help that one out. I'm going to have to charge. They can't afford me, so I'm just going to charge lots less because I need the client in, and their testimonial will hopefully bring in lots more clients. If you take anything from today's episode, please take this in. You are allowed to outgrow people, clients, customers, products, and services. You're allowed to change your standards. Maybe you've always let people contact you at all times of day and night, and you've immediately responded as quickly as you humanly can. You're allowed to change that and set boundaries now. And you are absolutely allowed to say no. I cannot stress that enough. No is also a full sentence. I say it all the time on the podcast, I know, but I need you to understand no is a complete sentence. You don't need to justify yourself. Because let's be honest, the goal here isn't just more clients, it's better ones. You need to love coming to work. You need to love working with the people you work with, and you need to enjoy doing what you do. If you want support reviewing your client base, tightening boundaries, or making sure your business is set up to attract the right people, you'll find all the links to work with me in the show notes. And if this episode is making you think of a specific client, you already know what needs to change. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the 3Bs podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If this resonated with you, please do like, rate and review, subscribe and hit that notification bell on YouTube so you know when the next episode of the 3Bs podcast goes live. If you think of a business owner who may benefit from hearing this episode, please do share it with them so we can all build better businesses. I'm Stephanie. This is the 3Bs podcast, and I will see you next week for episode 150. Bye. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the 3Bs podcast. I hope you found it useful and that you're walking away with some motivation, inspiration, or education to help you build a better business. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and of course connect with us on social media for more insights, tips, and behind the scenes content. Your next step in building a better business is just a click away. I can't wait to connect with you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.